Are you as smart as you think you are? So there's this crazy phenomenon called the Dunning Kruger Effect. And what it is when people who don't really have a lot of expertise or experience in a particular field, maybe they just have like a little bit, they did an online search one night, read some things, and now they think that they're the expert. They're going around telling everyone, oh, you should do this or that. It happens a lot. And the reason why it comes to my mind is because the same things happen with investments where you read an article and now you think that you've solved the mystery of how to pick the perfect stock, how to do investments and things like Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, all these different things are there's so much to be figured out and understood that a lot of people just immediately consider themselves experts, even though they just read the summary of how these things should work in theory. And yeah, there's a lot more to it. So the Dunning-Kruger effect, here is an image that I'll share with you. And basically, it's crazy. It's your peak of confidence is actually early on. So when you know close to nothing, that's when you're the most confident. And it's not until way later on in life where you actually get to that point again, because after that, a lot of the images that you'll find, they call this the peak of Mount Stupid. And it's because you really can't be an expert. You shouldn't be that confident with that little experience, that little bit of knowledge. And so what happens after that, hopefully most people will keep trying to educate themselves, which sometimes they don't. Sometimes they consider themselves an expert and a guru. So they just say, you know what, I don't need to learn anymore. I don't have to figure out anything else about this. So they just stay there on the peak of Mount Stupid. So that's unfortunate for them. For the people that are eagerly trying to improve and have a better understanding of things, they quickly start to realize, they'll see the slope just kind of fall down like a roller coaster ride. And that's called the value of despair, because as you start to learn a little bit more, you get knocked off your pedestal pretty quickly and realize there's a lot more to this than I originally thought. And I'm not going to lie, when I first thought about financial planning, it was because I was doing a decent job at picking stock investments while I was working my way through college. And I was like, this is fun. I'm excited. I'm doing really well. I want to become a financial planner, thinking that financial planners help with the stocks and picking stocks and things like that. I quickly realized, kind of went into that value of despair, that financial planning is a lot more than just stock picking. And a lot of times stock picking is like one of the worst things you can do as far as trying to build a financial plan and actually have a predictable success. And so I found myself in the value of despair because of that. But basically that's when your eyes become open that, hey, I'm not an expert. There's a lot more out there for me to figure out. And so you kind of slowly start moving from that value of despair, knowing nothing, to building some confidence. And that you kind of slowly, as you gain more experience there, it's more rational as far as how your confidence goes up. It kind of levels up slowly and incrementally over time. And it's not until you have massive experience where you kind of reach that enlightenment stage that, hey, I don't know everything. And hopefully most people should understand that there's so many things out there that it's impossible to know everything possible, but to know where your scopes and your limitations are, that's the part of being enlightened and kind of being on that guru level, is to know that you know nothing. That's kind of what you have to understand, is that it's know your limitations. And once you do that, then you're really enlightened and open to understanding when you can actually do something and do it great, and then when you need to rely on a team or outsource and things like that. So hopefully that was informative to you. And we've all done it, where any particular topic, you start cooking, you start learning coding maybe for the first time, you're like, oh, this is super easy, and I got this. All of a sudden you get thrown into a new language, and you're like, what, there's other languages, what's going on here? So it's a pretty crazy phenomenon. Hopefully that enlightens you a little bit to kind of continue pushing past your expertise and your confidence and your abilities, because there's usually not an end point when you're trying to learn and trying to educate yourself and be the best at something. And that's why all the best kind of have that work ethic, and they're always looking to improve.